Okay, hello and welcome back. In this video, we are going to learn about tables. In the previous video, we have already completed dimensions and dimension style. In this video, we are going to learn the last part of annotation. Technically not the last part of annotation, but yes, we do have to learn one more thing after this. But this is something which is very important, which is related to text, and this is known as tables. That is what we are going to learn today. So table is going to play a very important role. Okay, the command for table is tb enter. So we can press tb enter in order to create table. Now I'm not going to take longer time in order to explain you what is table. Basically I'm going to do it in the best way possible and in the easiest way possible. We are not going to go into deep detail about using or creating tables, but I can guarantee you that after this particular session you will be able to create tables for your title block and general tables like bill of material, joinery details for your drawing as well. Okay, so anything which you want, you can create it from tables. Now the table dialog box, if I press tb enter, this is how the table dialog box is going to look like. Now when we go into tables, okay, we have two options to choose from. Either we can start from an empty table or we can start from a data link. So if you have an Excel file created, you can use this option, that is from a data link. Now if you want me to create a separate video on data link option, you can let me know by typing in the comment section below, so that I can create a separate video from a data link option. Now here, if I use this option called start from empty table, I have two options to choose from: specify insertion point or specify window. I generally use this option, that is specify insertion point. Now in this option, it allows me to provide me how many number of columns I need, what is the width of the columns, what is the number of rows I need, and what is the size of the rows. Let's say for now I want 5 columns. Okay, I want column with a 50. I want, let's say, 5 rows, and I want a row height of 1. Now here we can also control how the first cell should look like. That is the first cell over here. The first cell should look like a header cell if you want to ignore the title cell, or you want it to look like a data cell. So for now I'm selecting this to be a title cell. Then for the second row cell style, we can again choose whether it should look like a data cell, or whether it should look like a header cell, or whether it should look like a title cell. Now that is also we can choose from here. And all other row cell style means leaving the title and header row apart, all the other rows will follow this particular style. So that is header or title. So here I am selecting data. So this is a general format. We need the title on the top, the header over here, and then we need the data. So now if I click OK, now you can see with my mouse the table is attached. Okay, and if I place the table somewhere over here, this is how it's going to look like. Just for a quick revision, if I press tb enter again, the number of columns I have asked for is 5. The column width was 50. So let's check. I'm getting total of A, B, C, D, and E, total of 5 columns. Okay, and I'm getting each column with a width of 50. Width of 50 is something which we are not concerned about as of now. What I also asked for is, if I press tb enter, I asked for 5 rows, but what I'm getting here is 7. Okay, now why I'm getting 7 rows? Because software will always create 2 extra rows, one for title, one for header. So if you type 1 also, you will get 2 extra rows, that is 3. So if I type over here, let's say I want only 1, and I want only data rows, suppose. So what software will do, it will technically create 3 rows. Okay, so if you want only 1, you're gonna technically create 1. You can create 3 and then delete the remaining if you want to. Okay, so that is how you can do it. Now, once the table is created, then what you can do is you can double click inside the table to write anything you want to. So for example, here I am writing any particular information. Now if you want the table to follow a particular text style, you can go to st enter style and then change the format here. For example, here I am choosing a different font. This we have already covered in the previous video, and here I can type anything I want to. Now while typing, you can see multi-line text command is active, so I can technically select and choose to make it bold, or define and underline, or also change the color or the font style for that particular text. Okay, so that is all possible. Even if I want, I can also insert a field, like for example, I want my current date, the date on which I'm recording this video. So here you can see the current date will automatically enter. Okay, similarly, if I want to merge the cell, for example, I want to merge these 2 cells, so I can select the cells over here. Let's say I'm selecting these 2 cells, or let's say this 4 cells. Let's start with this 4 cells over here. So I can select this 4 cells, and then I can choose to merge. So you can see merge option is over here. Then I can either select merge all. Merge all means all the rows and columns will get merged in this selection. If I select merge by rows, means only the rows will get merged, not the columns. Okay, and if I select merge by column, only the columns will get merged, not the rows. Now I can again select everything, and I can select unmerge cells. That will again unmerge everything. This is very similar to how we use Excel and different data types. Now What we can also do over here is we can select a column. Let's say I'm selecting this column. I can insert a column to the left or to the right, okay, of the selected column. So anytime I want, I can increase the number of columns. Similarly, if I select a row, I can either insert a row above or below. I can also delete rows. Okay, so if I don't want some rows, I can also delete the rows. So this is how you can delete the rows. Now, along with that, suppose if you are typing something, for example, here I'm merging all the columns. Okay, so I'm selecting merge all, and here I'm typing something. Let's say CAD cube 360. Now, after selecting this particular cell, I can also change the alignment. For example, here the alignment is set to middle center. I can make it top left. That will go in the top left corner of the cell. Top center, top right. Similarly, we have middle left, middle center, and middle right. So if I select middle center, this is how it's going to look like. And if I select bottom right, this is where it's going to go. Okay, so we can also select to choose like how we want the table to be displayed. Now, if I don't want this two columns, I can just simply select these two columns. Okay, so let's say I'm selecting these two columns, and I can just say delete column, and it will technically delete those two columns. Now, let's say for this example, I want to change the length of my table. So for example, here I'm starting from here. So I'm activating ortho. I'm creating a line right now. So as we know, this line, this table cell or table width is technically 50. So what I want is I want the first column to be of 45. So I'm creating a line of 45. Then I want my second column to be of, let's say, width of 40 or let's say 30. So I'm creating a line of 30. Then I want my third column to be of width 15. So I'm creating a line of 15. I want my fourth column to be of width 40. So I'm creating a line of 40. Then I want my fifth column again to be length of 15. So I'm creating a line of 15. Now what I'll do to make it easier for you to understand, I'll just give different color. Okay, or let's say dimensions. So we already know how to give dimensions. So this is one dimension here. This is the second one here. In this condition, the continuous dimension option will be more helpful. Okay, so I'm creating one dimension here and one dimension here. So this is how I want my table to look like. Okay, so first column of width 45, the second column of width 30, the third column of width 15, and the fourth column of width 40, and the fifth column of width 15 again. So I can select the column, I can select the table, and you can see some handles over here. Now this handle or this grips will help you to change the width of the table. So if I drag this grip to, let's say, this point, so it will become 40, 45. If I drag this grip to this point, this will become, so it's not technically going to come down to that location, but technically it's going to reduce the width. So this is how I can change the width of my columns, okay, if I need. Similarly, row height can also be controlled. If I go to properties, if you remember properties, I can simply select the table or I can select the set of rows. Then I can control certain information. For example, what should be the height of the text. So I want height of the text to be, let's say, 4. So I can reduce the height of the text at one go. What should be the color of the text? What should be the type of the data? And additional formatting can be changed from here. What should be the row height? Let's say here the cell height is set to 9, so I want it to be 6. So here I can change the cell height to 6. So all the selected cells will change the height to 6. Now this is how you can control how exactly your table is going to look like. Okay, now this is how we can create a table, and this is how we can manage a table. I hope you guys understood how we can create and manage a table. Now for your practice, what I want you to do is, it will be a little difficult than what we have already covered. I want you to create this table. Okay, you can see, or you can take a screenshot over here. You can see the first width is 30, second width is 15, third width is 15, fourth width is 45, and sixth width is 45. Here I am using the cell with a height, here I am using a text with a height of 3. Okay, here also I am using the text with a height of 3. In all this location I am using a text, I guess, with a height of 2. Let me check. So I'll go to properties and select a cell, and here you can see the text height is set to 3 in this entire column. In this column it is again set to 3 for this entire column and this entire column. For this column it is set to, or for this set of columns it is set to 3.5. okay, and only for this one it is set to 6. Now you can try to create this, okay, very similar table. Here you can replace this with your name or your company name if you want to, but try to create a similar information, because this will be later on useful or will be used as a title block. Now in the next lecture I am going to create this, and you can also see how you can create this kind of information. Thank you everyone for watching. Have a great day.